Hello, I'm Roxanne, and this is Everything About Hallmark, and it's Thursday, which means I have a When Calls the Heart inspired recipe, and it's holiday themed. Stay tuned. Don't forget to click that button and subscribe, and click the bell and hit the word all for notifications. So this is based on the first episode of season 7, which was the last Christmas episode we have had from When Calls the Heart, and it's called Home for Christmas. And I'm going to focus on the delicious foods that the Hope Valley residents and those who came to visit were able to experience because of the carnival theme that Lucas put together. So the first a recipe that I'm going to share with you tonight is the one that has to do with waffles. So many of us here in the United States call them Belgian waffles, but that's really not true. There's all these different kinds of waffles from Brussels, and the one I'm going to make is made with yeast. And right away, people are like, yeast? Nobody wants to work with that. It's so easy. You stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let's talk about some of my favorite scenes from this episode. One right here that I love has to do with Allie and Nathan and how they're making Hope Valley their home.
All right, have fun.
Uncle Nathan, I think this is going to be the best Christmas ever.
I think you're right.
Then the other scene that I love is the conversation between Elizabeth and Lucas. And she tells him to look around because this is your home now.
Thank you
For what?
for including us.
What do you mean?
Because look around. This is your family now too.
And the last scene I'm going to talk about tonight before we get into making the waffles is this one here. This one actually made me cry. I love it because it's the coming together of virtual strangers that have now become family.
With confectioner sugar.
My mother always used to do that every Christmas morning.
These are the finest pancakes I've ever seen.
Oh, hey, you made it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Here, take this one. I'll get a plate for myself.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
I hope you like pancakes.
Very much.
Okay, let's dive into the recipe. This luscious recipe actually begins with dry active yeast. You put it into a bowl with 2 tablespoons of sugar and 3 cups of warmed milk, approximately 105 to 110 degrees. And then you whisk it together and let it rest for 10 minutes. While it is resting, you take 3 large eggs. You separate the yolks and the whites. You put the yolks aside, and then you are going to beat the whites until they are stiff peaks. Then next, you allow the egg whites to sit to the side while you add the egg yolks to the batter that has been resting for about 10 minutes. You're also going to add 2 splashes, which is about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're going to slowly add 1 cup of melted butter. You want the butter to be just a little bit warm. Slowly mix and incorporate it. And then you are going to add 3 cups of sifted flour that also has like a pinch of sea salt in it, slowly to the batter and continue to mix. It is a very liquidy batter. Then you will fold in the egg whites, and the batter will actually have many air bubbles. That's how you know the yeast is working. Once you've incorporated and folded in the egg whites, you don't want to break them up, and they might have little clouds floating in the batter, which is okay. You want to put the bowl aside, covered in a warm place for 1 hour. It should double in size. It is worth the wait. Okay, now for the fun part. First, the reveal. Look at this. Look how it has doubled in size. It is amazing. It's so cool. The other thing that's fun is you can use a traditional Belgian waffle grill with all the little holes. But look, it's the holidays. And if Lucas were here, he would want us to have a grand old time, especially since, you know, he's becoming a dad. So you can get these from Target or Target. They come in all cool sizes. This one makes gingerbread men. I'm sorry, not all cool sizes, all cool shapes. And this one is gingerbread men. Isn't this the cutest? Now, something about these waffles, Brussels waffles. Brussels, they changed the name and said, oh, nobody's going to know where that is, so they called them Belgian, but it's really a Brussels waffle, not the Liege. The Liege is more cake-like and different, but something about this is that you eat them when you're like walking around the town and the streets. So it's not to be eaten with a fork and a knife. It literally is take it in your hand and you can have them cold. So we're gonna stack them up, and the only thing they really put on them is maybe a little bit of powdered sugar, which we're going to do, but hey, why not a little bit of cinnamon too, maybe, right? We're gonna try this out. Aw, he's there, the little gingerbread man. It's got like a crispy outer layer, and when you eat it, it's light and fluffy, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. I want to make a few so you can see. Okay, so this is one of my favorite When Calls the Heart episodes, not just because it's about Christmas, but just the way they did it. And I love the whole multicultural, getting to know what other countries did. And I love it because we're getting to see that through the eyes of Lucas, and then we're learning about him as well. So these are good. They're so good. Of course, you do not have to use the cute little waffle maker. I have to tell you, they are light and airy. They're like a little slice of heaven. They're not very sweet. And we Americans, you know how we are with sugar. But over in Brussels, this is just, you know, oh my gosh. You put it in your hand and you walk away and you eat it. Now, of course, if you use the traditional Belgian waffle maker, it'll have a deeper hole. It'll be crispier than this. But I thought this would be fun, but you know what? You do what you want to do. They are really good. I'm going to have a sample. Light and airy, probably so light and airy because of the egg whites, but they're very soft. But if you were probably, like I said, making them in the Belgian waffle maker, it'd probably be a little more crispier on the outside, but you just take them and go. So good. All right, you have a great day. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, and I'm going to say Happy Holidays because I don't know what everyone shares, but come back because I have another recipe from the very same episode, and I'll talk a little bit more about that episode as well. All right, good night. Bye.